Bert,
Yes, sir.
we got a lot to get to today. And I mean, the football gods are already smiling down upon us because by pure coincidence, we're talking about the AFC East. And there's only one person I want to talk about in the AFC East, and that's Zach Wilson. He's come out. This whole show was about to be about, the Buffalo Bills and who can contend. But now we know there's a clear answer. Somebody's come out of the darkness.
Yeah.
He's throwing bombs and banging moms, as the guys over at Barstool have proclaimed.
Mhm.
The irony did not escape me, and we will be talking about the AFC East. Me and Bert will also talk about some of our thoughts on the MLB All-Star selections, and then we are going to do top 5, bottom 3 potato chips, because as we gear towards football season, that means it's chips and beer and snacks and food, and we're going to go through all of it all the way up until football season, and we're going to start with chips today. Bert, the irony did not escape me that not only is this the first time a New York Jet has scored 40 since 2018, that Zach Wilson in high school played for, wait for it, the Cougars.
There it is.
Sports. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Stuff About Sports. I am the Facebook felon Jerm, and of course with me is the prettier Corey Bert. Bert, what's up, bro?
Nothing, man. What's up with you?
Man, everything's going well in life. My 5 minutes of fame. I was on the news yesterday. People came out for the fire department. We did some. It was supposed to be a recruiting video, but it didn't turn out the way we thought, and there was a lot of confusion. But they made your boy look really good on the tube. So I had to buy ice cream for everybody. That kind of sucked, but
Why? What was with that? What was the ice cream thing?
So, and firefighters are not. We're not cops. We're not in it for the glory. Okay, we don't want our faces plastered all over the place. We're not like
you don't do it for the calendar.
We don't do it for the calendar. We don't do it for the publicity. We're not these cops that woe is me, and the firefighters are who cops wanted to be, but they couldn't hack it, so they ended up being cops, and everybody knows it. So because firefighters are supposed to be the heroes that are silent, we just go in and do our jobs, and we don't want the glory. If a firefighter ends up on a newspaper, they're supposed to buy ice cream. And if they end up on TV, they up it to steaks. Now, because newspapers are dead, it's Twitter now. There's really, nobody goes on a newspaper. It kind of downgrades. So if you get put publicly and your face is shown, you have to buy ice cream. And so I got stuck buying ice cream. And because I was really salty about it, I bought Neapolitan ice cream, maybe the worst of all the ice cream flavors.
How petty is that?
Super petty.
Oh no, I'm on TV. Here's some shitty ice cream.
Well, the other funny part about that is that she was there for about an hour, filming and talking to us. I was probably with her, 35% of the time. She was with one of the captains, the truck captains, for a larger amount of time. The guy that was shown, if anybody is on our pages and seen it, he was the guy in the red helmet showing her how to get through doors and stuff like that. She was with him more than she was with me. Yet I ended up with 90% of the screen time. So that only tells me, Bert, that she wanted some of this chocolate thunder.
She did, and she knew what the people wanted too.
Yeah, for sure.
I texted when you texted me all that yesterday. I texted you and I said there is going to be a huge uptick in pregnancies that happened last night.
Yeah,
plain and simple.
Oh yeah,
there are people using that video for foreplay. I know it.
And hopefully, and one of those people should be Zach Wilson. As we continue our NFL preview, as we count down next few weeks until NFL preseason starts, we are on the AFC East. Now, this is a pretty easy one. I don't think we have to go into a deep dive on who we think is going to win the division. But it's not, as I was doing research, Bert, it's not as far as I thought it was going to be.
In terms of drop off from the Bills to anybody else.
Yeah. Like last year, it felt like the Bills were far and above better than everybody else, and then New England made it interesting for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then when it got real, the Bills showed us who they were. I don't know if it was a foot off the gas situation or maybe the Patriots kind of just I don't want to say overplayed who they were. There was a lot of issues in New England, and so
What was weird with the Pats, right? Because like they far overdrove expectations.
mhm,
And then when the drop off happened, everybody was like, "Oh, what the heck?" But I mean, let's be honest here. I don't think anybody expecting them to make, a race for it, to say the least. But Mac Jones is for all intent and purpose the real deal there.
yeah.
So yeah, I think if we're I know you're probably alluding to that. I think the Pats are the only competition potentially. Now, if Brian Flores stayed with the Dolphins
Mm,
and they kicked Tua aside, I would be sitting here saying, you know what, Miami might be the dark horse in this to give Buffalo a run for their money. But I I cannot, and having Dolphin fans in my family, I've always rooted for Miami from an
mhm.
AFC standpoint. But after what they've done in the offseason, I just cannot get behind them at all. When your ownership makes those types of decisions to fire a winning coach, and then stick with Tua, who clearly isn't the guy. And who knows? Look, he may make me eat my words, but it's not happening. And then you have Tyreek Hill coming in here and saying that Tua is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. Yeah,
Did you
okay,
hear what he
all
said
right.
today?
No,
He said they asked him about the 2017 Chiefs, which I guess a lot of people are proclaiming as peak Chiefs.
uh-huh.
Said that being in this training camp and remembering the 2017 training camp, he said, "quote It's the exact same."
Mm. Okay, sure it is.
Oh
Yeah, no,
gosh,
now I
yeah.
know that, dude, when you get to Florida, it's either like directly the bath salts are just right in the drinking water, or they just give you a pack on your
Mhm.
way in and you're just like, here, take this and start making obscene comments. It's just, man, I mean, no, no. I'd like to be
I
wrong. Like I said, Dolphin
oh
fans in the
yeah,
family. I would love to see them. I mean, I know you wouldn't, but
no.
it wouldn't hurt me. It would hurt me less than it would hurt you to see the Dolphins have a winning season. But no, it ain't happening.
So it's funny that you said that because you led up with that because I was actually going to say something that I was embarrassed to say, and I didn't. I was trying to. I had to drink. We're having adult beverage here because we're not like our brothers on the divide on radio, and we can curse and drink beer
Hmm.
on air.
Hmm.
Um, I had to take a swig, and I'm gonna do it now because this scares me that I'm about to say this after looking at everything and hold on real quick. Mm. Bert, after 20 years, I can't believe I'm saying this.
Hmm.
I kind of believe in the Miami Dolphins.
No shit.
It's
Woo!
less about Tyreek Hill. Well, it's a little bit about Tyreek
It
Hill.
has
It's
to be.
more
What they
so
gave up for him,
about
it has to be about Tyreek Hill.
and it is because of somebody else they acquired, the replacement for Brian Flores, and that's Coach Mike McDaniel, the NFL weed man, because that's exactly who he looks like. He looks like the neighborhood weed guy.
He does, doesn't he?
Um,
He reminds me of Neil Brennan,
A
comedian
hundred
and actor.
percent,
Yeah.
yes, excellent comedian. Responsible for a large amount of the success of the Chappelle Show, by the way.
Hmm.
So Mike McDaniel is walking into a situation where he elevated another, I would say, Swiss Army knife receiver in Debo Samuel, and now you have a better version of that. It seems like he's fixed the offensive line, which was what Miami's downfall was. Their defense is still going to be good. He's going to coach up that defense really well. I think he's going to put Tua in a position not to be the guy to mess it up. Like, hey, Tua, all you have to do is not mess it up. Hey, we don't need you to be the savior like Brian Flores and company wanted you to be. We don't need you to be Justin Herbert. We don't need you to be Josh Allen. We need you to be able to throw checkdowns and throw slants, and you're going to accumulate a bunch of passing yards off of yak and live off that. Be Alex Smith. We don't need you to be Aaron Rodgers. Be Alex Smith. Alex Smith won a lot of football games. You can do that. And I think that's kind of what the game plan is. It's going to be really interesting to see how Mike McDaniel uses Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
So I guess that brings me to the first question. Josh Allen, obviously, he's a top 5, top 3, maybe not, maybe top 2 quarterback in the league. So he's obviously number 1 in the AFC East. Who is going to be the number 2 guy? Who's going to have the biggest come up, and who do you think is going to set themselves apart? Some of these guys, it's their second year, third year, whatever, familiar in their systems. new coaches, some of them, new players, some of them. So who's going to take the biggest come up and solidify themselves as the second best quarterback in the AFC East? Because I think a lot of people would have voted for Mac Jones last year. I don't know, if you still feel that way.
I have to. Yeah, I'm going Mac Jones again. He's shown in one season that he can be more consistent and more reliable than Tua. So that's who I'm going with at least.
Yeah. So I was gonna say Mac Jones as well, and it's really about what he's done in the offseason. He looks in tremendous shape. It looks like he's, some of the offseason. I'm not a big offseason workout guy. Like obviously you're going to show me all the hits in the offseason, but when you see a guy who's drastically transformed his body, it's impressive. It's hard not to notice that. Now, I will say, shout out to Carl Powers, and we rag on this guy all the time about his Jets. Mm-hmm. He likes to say Jets, Jets. I like to say BUMS, bums. But Zach Wilson has the skill set to succeed. I just think the organization's a mess. I like everything. Even there was flashes of Zach Wilson where I was like, holy shit, like this kid, it's just, I don't know how good of a coach Robert Saleh is. He's probably on the hot seat of all the AFC East coaches. Like, he was supposed to come in there and they were expecting the 49ers success and they didn't get it. And so I don't know how much longer. I don't know if he's going to make it through the season, but Zach Wilson needs, they got him Corey Davis from Tennessee. They drafted Breece Hall, a nice running back, which is really good for him. But as far as intangibles and tools, somebody ridiculously made a comparison to Josh Allen, and I kind of laughed at it, but not really. I said, you know what? I get what they're saying. There was stuff about Zach Wilson that was really, there was a lot to like about it, but that organization, the only good thing about that organization so far, Josh Perez, what's up, man? The only good thing about that organization in the last 2 years is that Woody Johnson has not interfered nearly as much as he's done in years past. And it shows in draft picks, free agent signings. So I guess that's trending up for the New York Jets.
Yeah, that's about it, though. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to look at their roster and think that there's certainly like offensive threats there. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Their
roster is going to hold them back a lot. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So now that we're talking about the Jets, let's move on to the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Josh McDaniel is in Denver now, right? No, not Denver. Where's he at? Oakland.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, whatever. Hey, never mind. We'll get to it. We're going to do overtime later. I got something for Pittsburgh and Heinz Field and these guys. What is this? As we're talking about newer names, but they haven't named a replacement for they don't have like an offensive coordinator listed. Like, so they have Matt Patricia went back. So his pencil and his backwards hat, he's back there.
After failing
failing in Detroit. Tommy Toughnuts, your guy, Joe Judge, coaching the offensive line. But there is no offensive coordinator. So who do you think is, can Bill Belichick do it? Is he going to call the plays for the New England Patriots? It's hard to imagine they're going to let Mac Jones kind of run the show because they didn't trust him to throw a pass last year.
Yeah. Will Bill Belichick do it? Yeah. Like, absolutely. Yeah. Like, what will he not do? The man is just, honestly, he's the best coach there ever was. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe they're just waiting to see, who to give it to. It's odd to me, but Bill Belichick's gonna do wild things. He is. I don't think they're gonna let Mac call the shots. I don't think they're there yet. No. There was that trust level between Brady and Belichick, and honestly, there was experience there too. I don't think it was towards the tail end of his New England career until he was like really owning it, and that was after he already brought him 3 Super Bowls. And at that point, call all the fucking plays you want, guy. Like, shit, after 2, call him. Do anything you want, dude. Because after 2, it's not a fluke. 1, okay. 2, there you are. So, Mac's not there yet. So you better believe Belichick will most likely be doing it. If not, I wouldn't be surprised me if he makes Joe Judge do it. I don't know. Although actually that would surprise me to come to think of it.
Yeah.
But Judge had a scapegoat and former Cowboys coach Garrett when he was with the Giants, and they let that parade out too. So
They just hired Jason Garrett to be the scapegoat, right? Like anybody who hires him, he's just hired in case things go wrong, so they could just fire him and blame.
if we can take a quick flashback at the New York
Mhm.
Giants' decision in hiring him as an offensive coordinator, what people don't understand is Jason Garrett was calling the plays as a head coach in Dallas, even when Romo was there. So it's like, why are you going to hire a man who is calling the plays as a head coach at a team that won one playoff game and that's it,
Mhm.
and then bring him to be an offensive coordinator? Like, that to me
Mhm.
just did not make sense. And nonetheless for a rookie quarterback at the time. So
Yeah, I believe that.
that was one thing I would have never understood. So who knows? Like the Pats are going to, if as long as Bill Belichick's still at the helm, the Pats are still going to continuously be a threat. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
so it is what it is. As I was looking around, I said, "All right, man. The Bills. We drafted okay. It's hard to look at what our upgrades were. Obviously, Von Miller and some of these things. It's
Mhm.
hard to, we're getting Tre'Davious White back. We didn't have him all year. So the Bills, I think we drafted okay. We drafted a good corner, which could help. I love James Cook, Dalvin Cook's brother. We drafted okay. The Jets, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, very good picks, exactly what they need on each side. And then I love Brees Hall. That was who I wanted the Bills to draft. So that's a good one. So I would say the Jets had the best draft. But Bert, when it comes to who's first and who's worse, you're right. The Jets roster overall has a bunch of unknowns, and I can't trust their coach. So I'm going to say the Jets will end up being the worst team in the division. And obviously the Bills are going to be the best team. What say you?
Oh, I would agree with that 1,000%. The only thing I would think, no, the Jets are definitely last. I can't
Yeah.
even say that Miami's going to be behind them. And yes, the division is the Bills to lose, plain
Yeah.
and simple. I mean,
Yeah.
you have the power has shifted in this division so much that the Bills are now what the former Belichick Brady Pats were. You knew every single year they were coming away with this, and it was a matter of if the Jets, the Bills, or the Dolphins were going to potentially make a run for it. So I mean, you have one elite powerhouse in that division, and everything else is going to fall to the wayside. The closest being for me the Pats.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the AFC East. My Bills. There's a lot of expectations. Josh Allen is the MVP favorite. The Buffalo Bills are the Super Bowl favorite.
Is this a
That
make
work?
or break year for this team? Because you got to think
No.
this is we have to call this the third. When I say competitive, like this will be the third year.
Mhm.
I think fans know going into it that this could potentially be our year.
Yeah.
So is this the make or break year? Is this the one where it's like it's either now or next year? It's not happening.
So the only reason I would say no is because unlike the Philadelphia 76ers, my other favorite team, where we stall at the same point every season,
Yeah.
no matter how good we do, the Bills consistently go farther and farther. There's always that next step. There was that heartbreaking loss to the Houston Texans,
Overtime.
which we should have won that game. Now they're changing overtime rules for us. Every year it's always something minute, like we're almost there. So I don't want to say make or break. Make or break is when you're knocking on the door, but you're like, there's uncertainty also in the future. There's no uncertainty with the Bills.
Mhm.
Our Josh Allen, Diggs, Tre'Davious White, I believe Tremaine Edmonds, they're all locked up. All the keystone players for this franchise are all locked up. We just drafted another one, possibly in James Cook. And so we got him on a rookie contract. Tre'Davious White is, all of our good players. The only question marks are going to be, we have two of the top safeties in Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. We're fighting to pay Jordan Poyer right now. If that breaks apart, maybe. But we kind of drafted his replacement with Khair Elam. So I don't want to say make or break. I do think that the window is more open than it is closed, I guess I would say. I think the Bills window from this point right now is a good solid, like including this season coming up, is a good solid 3 years. The Bills will win the Super Bowl within this 3 years because everything that we need to win in terms of the key players are locked up. for at least 3 years. So
Yeah,
I don't
and
want
I
to say
think what
close.
helps is being like every other team in your division, apart from the
Yeah.
Patriots, I would say is trash. So unless the Pats
Mhm.
get, and look, unless one of the other three teams gets incredibly competitive over the next, dare I say, 2 seasons, I think
Mhm.
you still have that shot. But I think 3 years is a good. We always say this: 3 years is a good sample
Mhm.
size. But for me, in seeing the Bills almost make it, like you just have to think about teams of the past, like let's say the Falcons, where they're good, they're almost there, they're inching, they get their shot, they lose, and then next thing you know, boom, the whole team. Now
Mhm.
that whole roster was built completely different. To your point, what you just went through, I think there is still more chances to be successful in the future. But uh, I just can't help but think, yes, this year should be their year. But super concerned if it's not. It's like, what else do they need? What other pieces of the puzzle are they missing? So we'll see what happens.
They're not missing. Yeah, they're not missing much. Like I said, the only hiccup we're going to run into is if we don't find a way to keep Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer in that
Yeah.
secondary together. And other than injuries, and I would probably like to see us address the Tremaine Edmonds. This is a make or break year for him in terms of, are you our middle linebacker? Are you the captain in that area? Because we kind of need you, buddy. Like, we've been getting killed over the middle to fast tight ends like Travis Kelce because our linebackers haven't been good enough, and you're supposed to be the best one. So I think it's make or break for some players being go-to guys like Tremaine Edmonds. But other than that, as long as you have Josh Allen, again, who's also improving every year, it seems like as he improves, the team just gets better and better. Like I said, they changed the overtime rules for this team. That doesn't sound like a team that's make or break. It sounds like a team that it's destiny for them to win. Make or break is like the Titans, right? The Titans for the last couple of years have been there, but now they're backsliding a little bit. Like, it's like that window is more closed than it is open, on the opposite of what the Bills are. That this seems like a make or break year for the Titans because they had the Derrick Henry excuse last year.
Yeah. I feel like they have
And
that
so
excuse
now
every fucking year.
every
He
year
came
there's
back
always
and was
something.
like, well, I guess we can say healthy for the playoffs, but we know he wasn't 100%. So it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the MLB All-Star game, Bert.
Yes, sir.
My Mets. I think we got 3 or 4 guys. I can't remember if Marte actually made it, but I know Pete Alonso.
He did on the reserves,
did,
but
yeah.
no, he did. You do, you do. I think 3. Gonna be a dick. Yeah, they're all in the reserves.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for your New York Mets are if Pete Alonso has a 3-peat with the home run derby, which, not for nothing, that is a 3-peat I am rooting for 1,000%.
Yeah.
Because if you look at everybody else involved in the home run derby, it's hard for me to want to root for anybody else. You have Pete Alonso, the Mets. You have Acuna Jr. from the Braves. For some reason, they threw Pujols' old ass in there.
The fact that
All right.
Pujols made the All-Star team at all is the All-Star game.
He was
in
a
any
legacy
capacity.
vote, wasn't he?
Yes.
Him and Mickey Cabrera were the legacy votes. That's like,
I don't like. Do you like legacy votes? Do you like
in this situation? No, in an All-Star game, no. Like for Hall of Fame and type stuff like that, I know. Like when the Football Hall of Fame does it, I get those type of votes because the writers and the committees, like the NFL has a committee that votes them in. They're always going to vote for, obviously the hot player that's eligible that year to appease the fans, to draw people in, and so on. So I like legacy votes in that sense. For the All-Star thing, it's cool. Just host. Like for me, it's like I'd rather see an All-Star Old Timers Day play before the All-Star game. Like that to me, I think would be better. But you have, look, Mickey Cabrera is still doing his thing, and we spoke about Albert Pujols last show. He's still there. He's around. So why not? So I go for it. But for him to be in a home run derby, I don't know. Juan Soto, I think, is certainly a competitor. And then you have Kyle Schwarber from the Filths in there. Josh, you're gonna love that one. But I honestly, man, Soto could certainly give Pete a run for his money, but I want to see
the guy I'm scared of.
Pete and his dirty ass mustache hold up that trophy
for
the third time in a row.
Keith Hernandez mustache.
Keith Hernandez would be embarrassed to see that peach fuzz under his lip.
Yeah, he just started it. It's okay. I guess you couldn't really put Miggy and Albert in the old timers home run derby because they're active players. So I whatever, but they should add an old timers home run derby. That would be awesome.
That would be that'd be dope. Yeah,
I would. I mean, let's get them out here, man. But I get it. The pool holes. there's other hitters out there that I think I would rather see. You know, they're taking up spots. Like, you're not going to win, so just get out of here. But I get that's all you can do at this point in your career is hit. So we'll see how it goes. I guess the storybook would be, let's see if Albert Pujols can win it. Like I said the last show, he is probably at that point where I'm remembering for more bad stuff than good stuff. It's kind of hard to remember Albert Pujols at his greatness. I went back and watched and read up on some of his accomplishments. I mean, he's first ballot Hall of Famer to me, but he's getting to that point where it's like, all right, man, like you were good for half of your career or you were great for half of your career. And then you were like awful for the other half. And it's
funny when athletes get to that point, it's like, I get you can, and it happens mostly with baseball. Like you can still play. I get that. But like exactly what you just said, I remember you being good for half your career. Yeah. Therefore, you may have overstayed your welcome where your numbers are just averaging out when you could have retired. Great. But I get it. If someone's going to pay me that much money per year and I can still play, I'm going to fucking play. And he's going to go into the Hall of Fame regardless. But look, overall, this, the All-Star rosters, they're pretty stacked. But here's the thing. You have to look at the American League and think, yeah, they're going to win. It's just absolutely insane.
They're loaded.
They're loaded. Yeah. Yeah, you have Kirk and Guerrero from Toronto, Altuve playing second. You have a monstrous outfield with Aaron Judge, your favorite Mike Trout, and then Giancarlo Stanton. Shohei Ohtani is DHing for the American League, but also listed as a starting pitcher. It is completely, or do I have that backwards? No, hold on.
No, you have he's listed as a starter for both. He's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Yep. Yeah. As of right here. So, honestly, this is wild to me. So, it's incredible. Now, I mean, NL wise, okay. Unfortunately, none of the Mets are starting. You have you have Mookie in there. I'll give you Mookie. I'll give you Acuna. I'll give you Bryce Harper can't because he's injured.
That's where Pete Alonso comes in, baby. Slide in right to that DH spot.
Yeah. If they use him right now, he's just listed as a reserve for first base. But
anything can happen.
They have William Contreras as the DH from Atlanta starting in place of Bryce Harper.
Oh, they already named it. Willie Contreras has had a good year, so I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'm not going to sit there and act crazy. I want to talk about snubs. Freddie Fraudman. Everybody was crying about him that he got snubbed. Do you think he got snubbed?
No,
right?
No, he didn't get snubbed. I mean, I say that selfishly because the Yankees I wanted are in, but still, no, I don't think. No, look, is he having a good year? Yes. Is he exceeding expectations? Yes. But I think it's also in exceeding expectations for the money he got paid to go to LA. I think that's what they have to work with. But overall, I mean, boo-hoo. Like, I mean, obviously you have Mookie who deserves to be there. You have Trey Turner. It's just, look, as stacked as these rosters are, it should be a good game. Now, you know how I feel about All-Star games in general. I'd rather see skills competitions. I'm looking forward to the home run derby. The actual game, I might watch a couple innings of. I really don't care. What I do care about is how fire those jerseys are, though. Hats off, MLB. I tip my imaginary cap to you because this year you fucking did it right. And for anybody that hasn't seen the All-Star jerseys yet, they are crispy to the point where I know Mike from The Divide dropped the Mets one in our group chat, and I sat there and look, it looks nice. And then I went to the to see what the Yankees one looked like, and it was so damn. I almost bought one. I still may go on and buy one because it's that good. I'm
gonna buy one after the All-Star game when they're cheaper. But
dude, that's exactly what I was thinking too. I was like, you know what? I'll wait till the price drops. Like, it's $150 right now. All right, I'll wait till it drops. But yeah, no, should be cool. That's next Tuesday, 7 p.m. The actual All-Star game. The home run derby itself is on Monday. I think that starts at 8. Yep. 8, which might conflict with the captain, which ESPN.
Ooh. It looks good, man.
Can't fucking wait. I cannot wait.
It looks real good. They dropped that trailer. I was glued, buddy.
We
Yeah,
want to hear all of it. I mean, he's
yeah,
a squeaky clean player. You're gonna hear it's his. It's the same thing they did like Last Dance. You're gonna hear his run of it, but he's gonna address a lot of the things people wanted to know. Him and the A-Rod beef, the gift baskets. You know, who else?
yeah.
Who knows what he's gonna go through? So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll recap that as it goes along.
Oh yeah,
Me and Bert will definitely be watching it, so we'll recap that here and talk about it, and do some type of breakdown for that. Yeah, the All-Star jerseys. Say, Bert, me and you were big fans of teams wearing their own jerseys to All-Star games, but I do like the All-Star jerseys last year were awful. I hate when I get that they want to make money. It's like toys with like when superhero movies come out and they make all these ridiculous toys because they want to make money off of it, but like. Something about I always thought this in the NBA too. Just let them wear their jerseys, but make their numbers gold or something, but make something like stand out. And this is exactly a happy medium. They get a separate, entirely new jersey, but it's still the team's logos and they're gold, black and white with gold lettering. It's simple. It'll sell. The hats are fire. Adds a little gold star to each team's logo. Sometimes simple is always better. There's no need to overthink it. Just because you're in California doesn't mean you need to have the tropical sunrise All-Star jerseys. You know what I mean? Or you're in Chicago.
I think they did it perfectly. So LA, kind of that Hollywood, that goldish feel to it with both the white and then the charcoal jerseys look so fucking good. But then the hats too, you know, that charcoal color hat on both. And then underneath you have more of the beachy LA look. It's got like kind of like the palm and the frills and shit like that. They did it right. Whoever, I don't know if it's the same design team year over year that designs this depending on location, but if it's a different team this year, MLB, if you hear this, never let them go. If they're a contractor, keep them on. Keep calling them up every single July and make them do this every time.
Hell yeah. It's definitely something they should continue the tradition of, hey, black and white, gold lettering, and then like you said, underneath the hat if you want to do some flair for the whatever city you're in. Or anything else you want to do.
I don't understand why I don't like line the jerseys with something too, like you see in like nice like sport coats and shit. Just like the inside of a jersey, make that the character. Then people would buy that and just for that feature alone.
Yeah.
If they end up doing that, we're gonna point back to this show and our ideas, and we got some royalties coming because I know someone's gonna catch wind of it and they're gonna be like, "That's a really good idea."
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. That the
we
total
stole from that show
idea that we came up with on our own. Idiots. All right, Bert. Moment that everybody's been waiting for. Football season's coming up.
Yes.
And we were talking about sodas last week, and maybe we'll circle back to that. But chips are a staple on Sundays.
Yes.
We need to know. The people need to know. So if you're struggling to figure out what to fill your bowls with, are you a bowl chip eater or are you just straight out the bag chip eater?
If I'm entertaining, I have to put it into a bowl. But if it's just me on the couch, you better believe it's just
straight out of the bag. Okay.
Straight out of the bag.
I literally just leave the bags on the counter and you guys pour them in your own little containers. I'm not breaking out the nice bowls for you guys. No, this just take.
You won't even break up the bad bowls for us. We just get no bowls.
No bowls. You just put them on your plate or just put them in your hand. I don't care. So top 5, bottom 3. I'll let you go first.
All right, here we go. Top 5. The number 5 spot. Ruffles.
Number 5.
Just the plain
ruffles. Okay.
Plain ruffles. Sturdier than regular chips. Not going to crack as easily. A little bit more texture to it. Still with the crunch. Number 5.
Gotcha.
Number 4, I'm going Doritos Cool Ranch. Particularly, get nacho cheese out of my face. I want special Doritos. If I wanted a nacho cheese flavored chip, I'd make fucking nachos. So I want Cool Ranch as my number 4 spot. Number 3, had to go a little bit healthy. Sun chips, particularly garden salsa. Why? Feel a little bit better eating a sun chip because they think it's a little bit healthy, but you still get that nice little spice to it with the garden salsa. So that's why I'm going number 3.
Okay.
Number 2, barbecue flavored baked Lay's. Yes. Big fan of barbecue, and I want that baked chip. I just feel like it's less greasy. It tastes better. It's exactly what I want. And number 1, Lay's sour cream and cheddar chip.
Wow.
Not sour cream and onion. Get that
ball
funk smell out of my face. I want sour cream cheddar flavored chip as my number 1 spot.
I am very shocked at your top 5 list because I think like 2 of them are in my bottom 3 list.
Really?
My bottom 3 list was deep. Like my bottom 3 ended up like
Okay.
a bottom 9 list, but I ruffled it down to 3. I'll tell you right now, Lay's regular just Lay's potato chips are bottom 3. Takis are bottom 3, and your
I didn't even put
Ruffles.
Takis in there.
See, I did. I went through the whole chip like regimen, and Takis are the worst. That's the bottom of the bottom, and my kids love them.
Let's
Everybody
see.
loves them.
My bottom, I have sour cream and onion down there. I don't want. I
Mhm.
no, get that shit out of
Sour
my face.
cream and onions gross.
Salt and
barbecue
vinegar.
chips are
Anything
gross.
salt and vinegar. No.
That was
If
on
I
my
want
list, too.
something to just ruin the roof of my mouth, I'll eat Captain Crunch or just
Mhm.
take like a fork and scrape it up. That's exactly what I'll do. And number 1, regular Lay's potato chips. The greasy, the shit that crumbles the second you put it in your hand. That's
Yeah,
number
it's
1 on my
gross.
bottom 3. So that's me. I cannot wait to hear yours. This is interesting now.
Yeah, Ruffles, regular Ruffles made it to mine because they're too starchy. Like it tastes like I'm eating a slice of a potato. I can't take them. They're you know what it is? You get the variety pack of chips. What are
Yeah.
the last ones that are always in the box? The fucking Ruffles. and so they're on my
The plain
bottom
ones.
3.
I get it. I
The
totally
plain
get
ones.
it.
Takis are on my list, bottom 3.
Yeah.
And here's one that's gonna cause a little bit of a
lot of people will sit here and say that
tizzy.
they're not a chip.
Takis, listen, they're crunchy, whatever, made from
Crunchy
corn or
tortilla
whatever.
strips, if you will.
Yeah, they're chips. I don't, whatever. Sour cream and cheddar are fire. Josh Perez says, I'm not a sour cream and onion guy. That's not. I've had some sour cream and onion things that I've liked, but I'm not a big sour cream and onion chip.
But sour cream and
Bert,
cheddar, it's good.
I have to try it. Bert, number 1 on the bottom 3 list. Pringles.
Yes, yeah.
Pringles are the salmon of chips. Where people think they're so good and they're awful. Like the regular ones are awful. It's an awful texture. Any flavored ones they've ever come out with have all been gross. It's the Pringles.
Dude,
are the
the
most
novelty is gone. They come in that tube because people thought that they wouldn't get crushed like a normal bag would. But guess what? You open a Pringles can, that shit's crushed anyways.
It's
It's
crushed.
for no pun intended. It's chipped. The sides, it's falling apart. The only reason people still buy Pringles, the only reason why men still buy Pringles is to cut the bottom out and fool their lady. That's it.
Overrated. Pringles are overrated. And my wife is gonna have to dig deep in that. Hopefully, you're talking about the snack pack Pringles can and not the regular size, because my wife's gonna have to stick her whole arm down there to, touch my meat.
You don't get the one from Costco,
No, not the one from Costco. All right, top 5. I'm gonna start with number 1, Bert. Baked Lays. Not the regular Lays. Baked regular Lays are delicious. I don't know what they do to those.
They're so light and
why.
airy. It's just so good.
But then like the regular Lays are gross and greasy and nasty. But the baked Lays, boy, I listen, I'd tear them up. Number 2 on my list, Doritos Cool Ranch. Best Doritos flavor ever. Spicy chili, nacho, whatever. Gross. All of it's gross. Other than Cool Ranch. I hate nacho. I hate all that stuff. Number 3, Bert. Don't laugh. Veggie straws. Let me tell you, my 5-year-old.
I won't laugh. I have them. I can see them from where I'm sitting. They're good.
They're good. It's one of those things where like you buy them for your kids because you're like, they're chips, but I kind of need you to eat healthy. I've never thought about eating one, but EJ fell asleep one day. We were watching Bluey, and I said, "Let me see what these are about." And I was hungry. I didn't want to get up, and I popped a few. I was like, "These are really good." And so now I eat them. Like I buy them at the fire. I have them at the firehouse. I eat them. They're very good. You wouldn't know that they were veggie anything if you didn't. They remind me of like a lighter bugle, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the texture of eating it,
less salty, not.
All right, number 5, Snyder's of Hanover pretzel, Parmesan garlic.
Whoa! All right,
listen, guys, you haven't lived life until you had a good Snyder's. Now it slightly beat out the honey mustard and onion.
I do like
Snyder's and Hanover,
man.
They're so good. The problem is that is like Cheetos. It gets on your fingers a lot. Most of those flavored ones do, but and maybe this is recency bias because the Parmesan garlic is kind of new, or newer. But I love the Parmesan and garlic Snyder's of Hanover pretzel. So those are my top 5. Yeah, the chips. What do you want to do next week? You want to do sodas? What do you want? You want to do beer? Like, what do you want to do?
Sodas. We can do dips. We can do beer. It's a loaded subject.
That's loaded.
Let's do let's do dips. Let's do chips and then back to back with dips.
Gotcha. All right, cool. So we're gonna pair them chips and dip. All right, Bert, let's do a little overtime real quick. We have some time here. Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus upset that players are going to the LIV tournament and taking all the Saudi Arabia blood money, and they're saying that they're ruining their legacies, or they're not respecting golf. It's disrespectful to golf. Are they? Is this get off my lawn? Should they shut up, or do you think?
Man, file this under old man yells at cloud. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
you want to know what that is? It's jealousy that they played the game in an era where they feel as though they had to work hard. And now when I watch Tiger go off on his tangent, being like, when you do it for that much money up front, it's like, what's the point of working hard and practicing? I'll tell you what the fucking point is, Tiger, to make that bread. You want to know why? Because not everybody is like as talented and put in that hard work where they can win Masters every single fucking tournament and make the bucks you did. And when he said, oh, they're going to take the guaranteed money, excuse me, Tiger, you know what endorsements are? It's guaranteed money. So you were out there parading Nike for the past 20 fucking years, getting guaranteed money. Get out of here. It honestly, it kind of made me throw up in my mouth. Like it's the epitome of golf.
Yeah.
Old sport with old fans upset about something young and lively being brought to it. Plain and simple. And when you have, and I get what they're doing, they're supporting the PGA. I like that fact, but this just for me is just like old man yells at cloud. That's it. You're not happy. Plus, not for nothing, the two of them will not be playing a lot in the future. Tiger, especially with a lot of his back issues, and it's just, I think honestly he missed the boat. But when you had a lot of his former competitors go there, and Phil Mickelson being kind of one of them, it's like, oh well, they can still do it, so they're getting it. So I'm kind of jealous, and I'm gonna be like, oh, that's not right because you have to work hard for it. Get the fuck out of here. So no, I'm not in agreement with that.
The thing about Tiger Woods saying it is that LIV seems like it would benefit Tiger. No, like he's clearly done. I'm not gonna disrespect him and call him washed, but I guess in golf terms he's washed. Go over to where they know your name. They will pay you way more any tournament you're in now to go over there and play. Like Mickelson's doing it. He's shooting +8s in these PGA tournaments up here. Then he's going over to the Live tournament and making $400,000 for being 19th place or something ridiculous. You know what I mean? So it's like,
man, Phil's always been about chasing the bag, though. I mean, that's why he used to do like those just like one-off tourneys and like partnering with like Tom Brady, and like he wants to make those special pay-per-view golf things. Like I'm pretty sure that a lot of that was his brain child, if you will. It's just, so Phil's been about it. I think Tiger, we can kind of put this in the category, this is Tiger's passion for the game and what it is. But it's just coming off very old manish. It really is.
Get over yourselves. You guys aren't that important. Bert, ESPN released the top 10 quarterback list, and Lamar Jackson was left off of it.
Top 10 active quarterbacks?
Top 10 active quarterback heading into the 2022 season. They have Deshaun Watson up there at like number 7 or something like that. Dak Prescott's up there. Which if you look at some of these numbers, Dak Prescott probably belongs up there. We've had a discussion about him last week.
Execs, coaches, players make their picks for best passers. Is this the list?
Yep.
Or is this a different one? Yeah.
No, this is it. Take a gander at that list. Lamar, nowhere to be seen. In the top 5, the usual suspects. But a lot of people are raising an eyebrow about Lamar Jackson. He's in a contract issue with his team. A lot of people feel like he shouldn't be playing, but some people are kind of really felt some type of way that these guys didn't put Lamar Jackson up there, and I'm kind of like, why?
Yeah, I don't get that.
He's 1-3 in the playoffs. He's gotten statistically worse every year he's played. They have Aaron Rodgers number 1. His lowest ranking was 5. Last year, he was ranked number 2. So back-to-back MVPs will do that for you. They got Patrick Mahomes. His lowest ranking was number 5.
Yeah.
Last year, he was number 1, so he drops a spot. And then Josh Allen, number 3. Last year, he was ranked number 5. Some execs had him ranked number 7 this year, which is nuts. And then his highest ranking was number 1, but on average, number 3. Whoever ranked him number 7, you're a hater. You're a hater. I hope you and your entire family get gout. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Tom Brady, number 4. I mean, I'm done doubting Tom Brady. Whatever. If you want to put him number 4, I'm cool with it. He's amazing.
I'm shocked he wasn't number 3.
Yeah, well, it's hard because you still have to, like, I think if Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes weren't so overwhelmingly powerful in terms of NFL standards, I think you could probably make. There's no way you can make the argument though. Like there's not. Like if you've watched that game between the Chiefs and the Bills, like you can't make the argument. Honestly, I mean, the only reason to me Aaron Rodgers is in number 1 is because he's back-to-back MVP. I would take Josh Allen. Right, I'm talking about right now for next season. I would take Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes over Aaron Rodgers right now. But I get these guys; they're giving Aaron Rodgers his flowers. He's back-to-back MVP. A lot of people, you could argue that Josh Allen deserved it. You can argue Joe Burrow deserved it. But it is what it is on that front.
I will say the glaring mistake on this list is keeping Deshaun Watson on it, and for me, it just shows you how broken the NFL is for players, coaches, and executives to vote someone who hasn't played a fucking quarterback position for almost 2 years and is currently facing a slew of legal trouble, to say the least. But I mean, I get Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow, I get it, Josh Allen, and then A-Rod up top. But yeah, something's got to be done about that number 9 spot. Like honestly, Deshaun Watson shouldn't even be on this. I don't see Justin Herbert on here. You can easily make an argument for him.
You can make an argument other than Lamar Jackson. You can make an argument for Justin Herbert. You can make an argument for Derek Carr. You could probably make a small argument for Kyler Murray. Like
Kyler, I think you can make an argument for. Man, Matt Stafford number 6 is. Oh wait, no, Justin Herbert is on here. Okay, number 7. Sorry, I don't know how I missed that completely. I don't know why I would put Matt Stafford in front of him, but there. Yeah, I dropped Deshaun off. I mean. And I guess put Lamar on there.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, I'm not gonna. I'd rather put Carr up there before I put. Like I'm looking at the hierarchy. I don't even know if I've like Derek Carr. People are going to look at their success and act like he hasn't been putting up monster numbers. They're not losing because of Derek Carr, and hopefully Josh McDaniels can fix that. Devontae Adams is certainly going to fix that. I think we're going to see peak. The best of Derek Carr to come. He's been really good. I'm surprised Russell Wilson made this list, to be honest with you.
I am too.
But I'm not going to. Russell's been great for so long. Whatever. It's not like they have him in the top. They have him 8.
They have him 8? So
yeah. So it's like whatever. I'm fine with that. Lamar. I'm not upset.
It's Deshaun Watson on this list. It's fucking everything up. Because if he wasn't, you could make an argument for Lamar. You could. It's just,
I think that's what it is. The Dak, not Dak. Who were we just talking about? Deshaun needs to be off this list, and Lamar should be in. And then you probably have a complete list there. But yeah,
man, I'd put Zach Wilson on here just for fucking his friend's mom. To be honest.
Oh my gosh.
In place of Deshaun Watson. Yeah.
The memes that are out there about this kid having sex with his friend's mom are fantastic. It's great. Bert, I'm going to give my game ball to Zach Wilson. Fuck it. I mean, how can you not? How can you not give?
What's the story? So his girlfriend broke up with him, and then he banged his friend's mom, or he banged his friend's mom, and his girlfriend broke up with him as a result.
No, his girlfriend was messing around with his best friend, who was his wide receiver in high school. It's been his best friend. Obviously, they're not best friends anymore. No. So as a rebound, I guess his mom's best friend or mom's friend saw that he was heartbroken and consoled him in the best of ways, the ways that we all want to be consoled. There is a picture of Zach and I wouldn't call it a family gathering, but a gathering that his mom held with all her friends. So everybody's trying to pinpoint which one was the culprit, and because I don't think her identity has been released, but there's one woman in that. There's one woman that my eyes immediately went to, that I said, oh, it had to be her. She's giving off those vibes that she's looking for the pool boy, and so it's a funny story. It's gonna help him. It's gonna help him get away with some stuff. At the end of the day, nobody really cares, right? Jimmy Garoppolo was banging porn stars when he got to San Francisco, and it was a fun story for like a week. This will pass. It's just fun to make fun of now. Like it's a good. It's a. It's
I
a good
mean,
thing to
look,
make fun of now.
it's like the odd ends of the spectrum when it comes to Jets quarterbacks, right? So you
Mhm.
have Sam Darnold getting mono. So
Yeah.
arguably an adult getting mono, that's typically a high school disease, and everybody making fun of him for like, being a predator and shit like that. And then you have Zach Wilson who's banging cougars. Like it's
Yeah.
just, yep, young to
Fantastic.
old to young.
Fantastic. You have a game
He's a
ball to give out?
Mormon?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That adds to the story.
That does. My God. My game ball, honestly, with the premiere of the captain coming up, it's going to Derek Jeter. It is. I didn't have
Cool.
anybody else on my list to do so. I said, hey, you know what? Let's promo this. Not that they need it, but I'm really, really excited for what's going to happen on Monday, and not just the home run derby, but the fact that I get to watch arguably one of my favorite baseball players of all time, and what it's going to be a phenomenal docuseries done by ESPN. If it's one thing ESPN does right,
Oh yeah.
it's these types of, like, the 30 for 30s and the documentaries and everything else. If it's one thing ESPN does wrong, it's keeping that fucking joker Adam Schefter still on their payroll.
You heard it here first, everybody. Bert says, Adam Schefter, you're a bum. See you in hell, Art Briles.